You guys must be wondering what is wrong with me. Currently, I'm playing this game which is, I'm sure many of you guys know about. And it's kind of everyone's favorite game that no one wants to play actually. I mean, you don't want to have your internet connection get lost. But if it does, then probably it's your favorite thing to do. So lately, I've been wondering, can I make something like this on my own? So, if you are searching answers to the same question, then this video will get you to a desired answer. So, without any further ado, let's roll the intro. So, now we're gonna make our Dino game, and for that, we're gonna need three files specifically. First is index.html, second is script.js, third is style.css. HTML file, JavaScript file, and a CSS style sheet. Okay, now as you guys can see, my JS file is empty, CSS file is empty, and index.html file has the basic layout and all the kind of linkings with my game title, Prince kind of game. Okay, now starting off. Besides this line, HTML language equal to English, because we're gonna use the English language. Okay, I'm gonna write on click jump, because to be very honest, I like using my mouse more than my keyboard. So I'll be using my mouse, I'll be clicking to make my character jump over the obstacles like the real Dino game does. So it is very convenient for me to use my mouse, so I'll just use my mouse now. So you can add it, you can, if you want to use your keyboard, then you can write the keyboard code. Okay, but I'm currently using my mouse, so I'll just write on click jump. Right, now within this body tag, I'm gonna define a div tag with a class name game is the main div tag. We'll be defining and every component of the HTML page inside this tag. Okay, now I'm gonna define another div tag with an ID character. Now this depicts the character, like we want that character to jump when the obstacle comes to it. Okay, so it is the tag for that character, our player basically for the game. And the next tag, I'll just copy it, copy, paste. And the next tag, I'll just write block. It's basically the obstacle, the player and the obstacle. That's all we need for a very basic Dino game, right? Now I'll just define a p tag, that is the paragraph tag, to write the scores, because score is pretty much important. Span, score span. Okay, I forgot the first of this. Yes. So yeah, I wrote a span. I have a span tag inside which I'm gonna store my scores. So that's it for the HTML code basically. Okay, now let's move on to the styling. Okay. Now for the styling, you guys know you can style it on your own way, right? So I'm gonna use a pretty basic styling now. So if you want, you can make it look even better by using your own brains, by using your own designing patterns. So let's just do it. I'm gonna write a very basic code, right? Okay. So let's do this. So I'm done with the styling now. Okay, so I'm sure you guys understood what I did. I just have a basic layout, I just did some basic styling to the game tag, to the character, and I added some basic animation just to move the block from the right hand side to the left hand side, so that it creates a perfect animation that the block is coming towards the character, right? So I've also given it a basic details so that the animation will be very prominent, right? And also to the block. Yeah, so that's it for the style. Now this is the most important part when it comes to a JavaScript project, right? Because JavaScript has to be all about logic, right? So the logic behind this game will be in here, script.js, right? So first of all, starting off, I'm gonna define a variable called character, and I'll just store the element that will be getting. Okay, I messed up with the spelling. No. Element by ID from character. Similarly, copy, paste, make it block, and make it block again, right? I'll have another variable, we'll call it counter to count our scores. Next, I'm going to define a function called jump, the function that will be invoked when I'll be clicking my mouse, right? And the definition of this function will be, I'll put a condition if character dot class list, like the character, okay, the character, it basically means the character's animation, the character's property, right? Now what I did here is character dot class list equals to animate. Okay, so what it does is, if character has a certain animation property, then we'll do this, or else we'll do that, right? I'll just say return. I won't write anything, I'll just say return. Now after that, I'll write character dot class list dot add animate. Okay, add animate, set timeout function, start the curly braces, character dot class list dot remove the same animate, remove animate, and after this 300 is the milliseconds, that the time interval of the animation. Okay, so yes, so what I did here basically is I just started off with a basic function. Right now, why is it showing error? Wait a second. Yeah, right. So what I did here is, after it checks this property, character.classList has a certain kind of animation, so it's true, our character has a certain kind of animation that we want basically in the game. So next thing is the character.classList.add. At that moment the character will start animating, right? The moment we click our mouse, suppose I click my mouse at a certain time, so that at that moment my character will start animating, right? So I'll just write character.classList.add animation, right? Now set timeout after 300 milliseconds, because after 300 milliseconds the obstacle will surpass the character, right? So I want my character back again to the ground. I do not want my character to be flying all around. I mean, it shouldn't be like that, right? So I want the animation should be getting over after the obstacle has surpassed the character, right? So I'll just write after that character.classlist.remove anime after 300 milliseconds. So that's what the basic logic is. Okay. Now next, I'll declare another variable. I'll call it check dead. So it will be a variable which will be checking if I lost the game or I'm winning. I'm basically successfully jumping all over the obstacle or not, right? So I'll just define it with set interval with function. I'll call function. Again, I messed up with the spelling. Guys, pardon me for my spelling. Again, a variable of let data type. Let's say character top. I'll explain you why I went for the top. Character top equals to parse int to convert it into integer window dot get computed style character dot get property value to the left, sorry, to the top. I don't want the left index, I want only the top index, right? I'll just copy this, paste it, change it to left, and I'll make it block left. Am I right? Yes, block left. So yeah, there's one more thing, change it to block. Okay, so now I'll explain you what did I do. So basically I just defined a variable character top, because see, in our game, in a particular Dino game, what we need, our the character's top position. I want my character's top position because there will be a certain height up to which the character will be jumping, right? So I will be needing that top position. And why did I convert it into integer? Because I want the px value, the px value, the position of a certain thing on a HTML page is designated as px value, pixels. Okay, so I just converted it into integer, so I got the value of the top position of the character, right? And why block left? Because whenever the block is moving towards the character, its left hand side is facing towards the character. I'm sure I'm making you understand this well, but imagine a block is coming towards the character, so its left hand side is facing towards the character, so I need that value only. So after the left hand side crosses the character completely, so I want my character to come back to that position, so I want these two positions as integer value. Okay, now I'll put a condition: if block left is less than 20 and block left is greater than minus 20, and one more thing, character top is greater than equals to 130. Okay, so it's basically a small calculation that you have to do. If block left is less than 20 pixels or greater than minus 20 pixels, or the character top is greater than equals to 130 pixels, then we're gonna get inside this if condition statement, and we'll just write block dot style dot animation equals to none. Okay, so the animation won't work right now. Okay, I'll just write alert, game is over. Oh, game is over is something very pathetic. Game over. Okay, the score will be displayed. For that I'll just write plus math.floor. Okay, math.floor is basically, just to remind you, math.floor is basically which is a function which basically returns the floor value. Suppose the value is 9.11, it will return 9. The value is 9.79, it will return 9 again. So it will just return the floor value, right? I'll write counter by 100 and just end it. Counter equals to 0. So as to, because the game is over, so I want my counter to be at 0 again, because if we restart again, so it won't be starting from the point that we ended, but it will be starting from 0, right? So it's pretty much basic what the game needs. Again, I'll have this block style animation. Okay, I'll write block 1 second infinite linear. So I'll just added some properties to the animation. If you have learned CSS animation, then you can relate it to it. So what it is basically doing is, when my game is getting over, it'll just stop the animation. If my game isn't getting over, it is continuing. So after 1 second, linearly the block will be coming. I do not have any kind of, like, if I want to make it more advanced, I can make a certain intervals of the block, of the timing of the block when it will be coming to the character. Okay, so as I'm making a pretty basic game, so I just want after every 1 second the block will be coming, and I'll be clicking my mouse to succeed. Right now we are done with the if statement. Let's go to the else counter plus plus. Okay, so if all these things happens, then our game is over, right? If not, then it goes to the else part and our scores are getting updated, right? It's pretty much a simple logic. Now I'll just write document.get element by id for the scores, because it's very important to show our superiority. Never mind. Okay, I'll just write in a HTML. For that, let me equate it to math, the score logic. Math.floor counter by 100. Let's end with the semicolon. Okay, now after that we are here. Now here we have to write the time interval after which, suppose all this, okay, this is the main game logic, right? So after how many seconds the game will be restarted again. Okay, you should have a control over that also. Okay, so I'll just write here comma 10 milliseconds, because if you write 10, it means by default the computer is checking it as milliseconds. So after 10 milliseconds the game will be restarted again, or it will continue as you want. As you are succeeding, it will continue. Then I'll just end it with a semicolon. Okay, so our project is ready. I'll just save every file, and I'll just open it with the live server. Just wait a second, it's opening. So as you guys can see, it's already started. It's okay, it's saying game over. I'll just click on OK. See, it's jumping after I click. Okay, my score is 4. Okay, I'm pretty bad at this. I cannot keep on continuing. Okay, let's just so when I failed, it is saying game over, your score is 9. If I click OK again after 10 milliseconds, it starts again. So you can do it on your own. Now if you want any other kind of advanced logic to this, you can also add sounds. You can also add icons so as to make it a little more interactive and user friendly. So yeah, so that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have really enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Drop down your valuable comments. I'll be definitely responding to that. If you want any other kind of projects, if you are stuck somewhere in making this particular project, then I'll definitely help you out. So yeah, stay safe at home, and yeah, peace.